Hey, what's up guys? We are back after a bit of a hiatus. Now the winter was god-awful cold, had a lot of personal obligations and just got a little bit lazy. But today we're gonna get back into it. We've built up quite a bit of queue of things we have to do. But to start, we're gonna go ahead and change the oil in my wife's 2008 LR3. So this job is pretty straightforward. Really the only twist is that there's some pretty thick brush guards underneath that we need to use a jack to lower and then raise back into position. So we're gonna go over that process, and then at the end of the video, we're gonna talk about a couple other things we're gonna have in store for next weekend. We're gonna be doing brakes on the E92 M3, and time permitting, we are also going to be working towards filling the license plate holes that are in the front bumper. So we're gonna get into this LR3, get it up in the air, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so let's take just one quick second to cover what we need to get the job done. So first and foremost, we need 8 quarts of 5W30 synthetic oil. We need 1 oil filter, a couple wrenches. We're gonna use the impact wrench to get the splash guard off. And all you need is a 10 mil and a 13 mil socket that you see here. This oil filter removal tool, that's the type you wanna get that caps on it. I've done this job before with the type that kind of clasp around it. And it's awful. It doesn't fit in there. It does a terrible job. This fits in there perfectly, and it makes the removal much easier. You can kind of cup the filter in there without tipping it over, so it cleans up the job a little bit. So that's it. Set up so that we can drop that. So these are held on with 13 mil screws that we're just going to drop out real quick. And the jack's in the way, so we gotta spin this guy a little bit. All right. Now, unless I've missed anything, I believe, and I think I did miss something. That's about. All right, and we're out. All right, so just to give you an idea of what that brush guard looks like, there it is. That's the main and largest one of the group, and we're looking at it from the front going back there. So we're gonna get that smaller one off next. All right, so what we're looking at here is the smaller of the 2 brush guards, and there's really no need to put a jack under it. Doesn't weigh much, it's pretty easy to get down. And we're down. All right, so next we're gonna go ahead and get at the filter, start draining this thing out. All right, just give you a quick peek at where the oil filter is. That's it right there staring at you. It's maybe 2 feet from the front of the bumper, so it is super easy to get to as soon as you get those splash guards out of the way. And then the drain is, if I get you a shot there, where are you? There it is. So right here, if you can see that, there's the drain plug there. All right. So that's loosened up. Put a little heat in it beforehand, so put both gloves on in case I scorch the hell out of myself. And away we go. Oh, shit. A little spill, big spill, but we caught most of it. So that's one thing, you put some heat in there and that stuff will flow out like water. I'll get that cleaned up while it drains. Alright, it's time to pull the oil filter there. We've got the removal tool already set up. It's pretty loose. We've loosened it up, so we're just gonna loosen it out. This is always a messy job. I haven't really found a good way to get this out, so we'll just try and keep that picture as good as we can. And we'll try not to get oil all over the camera. And I'll just let it go slow. Alright, so we let it drain out pretty slow, and the easiest way to pull this is you have to use these little tools that cap it. I used to use the ones that pinch it, and those suck. Get one of these caps. It's really makes this job really easy, and you can pull it out upside down so you don't spill any excess, so that keeps it a little bit cleaner. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get our filter ready. So just get a little bit of fresh oil in here around the threads and get that back in. Alright, so it's kind of hard to see where this is going to screw back in, but you can kind of see it right there, right above the hose. So we're going to take our new filter and put it right back on there. I'm going to let this drain out a little longer. It seemed like it had some a little bit more drip left, so let that go a little bit longer. Yep, look at that. It was dripping slow, so always let it go until it's completely done. So let that sit a bit longer. Alright, so we let everything drain out for about an hour. We've got the drain plug button back up. We've got our filter seated there. So we're going to go ahead and put our brush guards back on and fill it up. Okay, here's our brush guards. On the left we have, we're going to be mounting those back up with the 13 millimeters, and then the smaller one with the 10 mil. The smaller one's going to go on first when putting them back on. And you will need the jack to assist you in getting that larger one up in the air and lined up. Alright, so like I said, you're going to need a jack to help you get this thing back in. So I've got it kind of placed here, so we're just going to roll it in there and spin it where we need it. Alright, so that's going to be close enough, and then we'll get under there and place it properly. There we go. So these two pinch between, I don't know, like a little support bracket that's attached to the frame. So just loosened up the smaller one so we get a little play and get those to thread properly. And they're going in pretty good now. Now, when we took this off earlier, this was actually not put back on properly. We were actually not overlapped here properly, and you might remember a little gap here. So make sure you've got the frame reinforcement here in between these two plates. All right, and we'll just follow suit and get everything else tightened up. All right, well, that's a wrap on the LR3. Super easy project anyone can do. If you enjoyed that content, you want to hear more about the LR3 or my M3, hit subscribe. Now, next weekend, the plan is to get front and back brakes done on the M3. And then time permitting, we're also going to get into filling in the holes from the license plate. And then probably the weekend after that, we'll do some paint work on that to clean it up, and we'll make it look as nice as possible. It can't look any worse, so it's worth getting into the project. Till then, we'll see you next time. Bye.